All right. I think we are live. I need a new stinking laptop because it took me like 45 minutes just to get this going. My current laptop is a dinosaur. I can't really afford a nice new one, but I was looking at some clearance laptops. I might just get a clearance laptop, a new one. But, anyways, I have noticed a shift in the social engineers. And it's not even a shift, like the title of this video, the social engineers are working overtime. And I say that predominantly based on my analysis of my Facebook timeline. A month ago, before Donald Trump took office, or a month and a half ago, gosh dang, he's been in office what? Not even a month, but we'll just say a month or two. Before Donald Trump was in office, my Facebook timeline was relatively innocuous, nothing too controversial, nothing too triggering. I curate it intentionally where I will unfollow or I'll hide. I'll just tell it, "Don't show me this stuff. Don't show me this stuff. I want to see my friends' funny memes, and that's it." But they've been forcing content on me, and I believe it is intentional and it is propaganda and it is social engineering because it was a shift and it was noticeable. And of course, like there is this whole narrative around demonizing Trump supporters and demonizing Donald Trump, obviously. I don't love the man, but I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I have government derangement syndrome, which any person who has analyzed philosophy and history and psychology will understand that governments are just parasites. I love how Steven from the BG cast, I love him as a person. It's been so nice to find like the fraternity I've been seeking. We're building this movement and I love it. He calls them the parasite class, and it is so perfect because all they do is leech off of you and I, and they don't contribute anything back to society. It's all an illusion. The government, the ruling class, the oligarchs, it's an illusion so that they can possess and maintain control and resources. Excuse me. I think I'm live. It doesn't show anyone watching, but that's fine. I want to do more live streams. I want to do more interactive stuff, more interviews, but I need to figure out my autism. I've come to the conclusion that I'm autistic, and it makes so much sense. I've been following other content creators who have been telling their stories and things like the suicidality and the inability to fit in, and various other sort of temperamental personality quirks and things. And specifically, there is a designation hyperlexic autistic. I think very much that is me. And it has made so much sense because I'm if I don't vibe with someone, it is so hard to force an interaction with someone. That's a big drawback, a big thing preventing me from trying to do more interviews and whatnot. Because like if I'm not vibing with someone, if they're just fake or if they're just I can't. It's so hard to force that stuff. Um, but anyways, let's get into the memes. So I've got my screen shared. I think you should be able to see it. And this is an example of the propaganda. 2 months ago, this stuff was not on my feed, and now all of a sudden, I'm being bombarded with it. Whoops! I didn't want to do that. Cowboys were notoriously gender fluid and claimed they were with whoever they needed to be at the moment. First of all, I just want to fact check on that. And second of all, they're just like, there's this expression in the conscious collective, the conscious community. I love it. Everything is fake and gay. And it's partially derived from the fact that there is this effort to just like normalize homosexuality, not just to normalize it, but to like put it on a pedestal almost, right? Like everything is fake and gay. I don't fucking care if you're gay. I really don't. I really, 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 really don't care about your sexuality. I care about if you're a virtuous person or not. Okay. And this is also an interesting development. You'll notice on this image, it's not the picture. Facebook, you usually can just touch on like the little text and whatnot, or the picture, and it just pops up into picture mode. But it will not let me do that for these various. They're not even memes so much. And also, I have no fucking clue why the U.S. Democratic Socialists are why it's getting pushed onto my timeline. Look, it even says if you look, it's right. Do you see my mouse? It's suggesting that I follow it. Why the fuck would I follow it? Especially with the few pages I do follow are generally anarchist or libertarian related, right? So the past few weeks felt like being strapped to a chair while a toddler fumbled with a loaded handgun. It's going to be a long 4 years. The left can't meme. That's like a whole thing. They just can't meme because that's not funny. And it's like it's going to create a resonant reaction with a very small group of people. They're the small, loud, obnoxious group I talk about often, the champagne socialists or the useful idiots. And it's for me personally really frustrating that there's so much outrage right now. It's selective outrage, it's hysterical outrage, but it's programmed, intentional, hysterical outrage because they being the social engineers who are paid by the ruling class, which has been getting exposed over the last few weeks. I don't love Elon Musk, but what he is uncovering is absolutely real and true. There is a ruling class who has been paying institutions to manipulate our reality. And this is just an example of that. These people, and you can, if you look really closely, I tried to comment. I don't get very much interaction on these things. I'm very much shadow banned. Did y'all not live through the fake plague? Because I'm so disgusted by how people are just now sort of being loud and obnoxious about government corruption when they've been not. It's not that they haven't been paying attention for the last 4 years. They've just been manipulated by the narrative that is controlled by these social engineers. And so it's so unfortunate because I am outraged also. I don't like what's going on, but I'm trying to raise awareness to the bigger picture of the issue, whereas these people are just allowing themselves to be psychologically and spiritually manipulated. And it's very, very depressing because we need more allies. We do. And then this God thing, I think they've always kind of been a troll. Because it's someone just trying to piss off Christians. The Super Bowl halftime show made all the worst people mad. It was Kendrick Lamar. I didn't watch it, but it was just the culture wars are trying to put marginalized groups on the pedestals. So like the black community on a pedestal. And then that's frustrating people who are struggling to pay their bills, who are just really unhappy with the current state of the country, all the while they're being freaking lectured to. And so this is just inflammatory content, but that's what the social engineers want. They want the chaos and the division. I'm going to check to see if there's anybody watching. Nobody watching. No comments. That's all right. I think this LeVar Burton, if I remember correctly, from the Reading Rainbow and Star Trek, with the text, "There has never been a time when the people who've banned books were the good guys." And this one frustrates me for multiple reasons. The first one being, if you just broaden the concept of banning books a little bit to censoring and censorship, there was a lot of censorship during the fake plague, as I call it. A lot of censorship. And so and the left, they supported it because they fall hook, line, and sinker for the narrative. And so the same people who supported the censorship of people like Dr. Robert Malone or Peter McCullough, just two examples, or I think even like Catherine Austin Fitz might be another name. Just a lot of people were silenced and censored, but they didn't. The left cheered it on. And now I said this one's doubly frustrating. Now they're freaking the fuck out because they're removing sexually suggestive content from children's libraries. It's not like they're trying to rewrite 1984, or actually they are, but they're supporting it. The left is supporting it. From what I understand, they're trying to rewrite 1984, maybe from like the females having like a female protagonist and all this other stuff. Anyways, and so I I don't think the government should be taking any tax money from anyone to give to other people, but I'm especially against tax money being taken from other people to support grooming children, which is what some of this content is designed to do and what some of these bad actors are trying to do. Very unfortunately, there are bad actors hiding amongst the people who are just, claiming to be allies. There are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing within the left. But then this also happens on the right, particularly like in church communities. And so I do want to acknowledge that. Um, and both sides really fail to address their issues. But, anyways, this is about the left and how they campaign. And so here's another like, I'm very anti-union. My Facebook, I don't like things that are union adjacent. There's no reason that I should be getting content like this. Without the workers, not one wheel can turn. And this was like from a union page. There's been a lot of just socialist, revolutionary, inciting content, and it's very unfortunate because our tax dollars are being taken from us at gunpoint to then be used to manipulate our neighbors. It's so very unfortunate. And so when I have said in my previous videos that I fuck with Jesus, I love Jesus, I don't like Christianity, but the guy Jesus was awesome. Like, there are so many beautiful, just like deeply profound messages in some of the Jesus specific work, like love thy neighbor. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so much deeper than you would think initially, because it's like it makes sense to one extent, but when you begin to unpack it, it's like, no, like your neighbor is just this much removed from your family, essentially. And, there's like circles of responsibility. The first one starting with yourself and then moving to your family and then your neighbor and then your community. And when you seek to bring love into as many of those circles as you can, oh my God, you build such a beautiful world. And so that's, one of the reasons I fuck with Jesus. Love thy neighbor, and unfortunately we're being divided. Oh, we have one person. Hey, it's Mongoose. They're watching. I do have a Rumble account. I don't really do much with it. The interface, I don't just the interface sucks. They've probably made progress and I should get back into it. So I will do that. Thank you very much for watching and thank you for the comment. I will reinvest into my Rumble account, but I also need to reinvest into my laptop. And yeah, so I think there's 2, maybe 3 more memes left. Here's another one. So again, it's suggesting that I follow, and I have tried to have like I ask Facebook not to show me the stuff, and it's forcing it down my face. And attacking again, as I mentioned earlier, there's just this hatred for Donald Trump with a complete ignorance of the actual issues that got him elected, the corruption that people know is there, that is being exposed. The left just is failing to acknowledge any of the corruption, and it's purely because they know they need the government, and if they acknowledge the government is broken, it just erodes their entire ideology. Why do they stay devoted to him? Because he gives them the freedom to indulge in their worst instincts. Now, that is just such gross, dehumanizing language, trying to imply that these people are being placated to at their most primal level which is, essentially one step away from a tribal mentality. These are subhuman people of a different tribe that need dealt with. There's very much this attempt, again, to create MAGA as the enemies because they want violence. I made a video a few days ago. Violence is imminent. This kind of stuff, projecting that out there, removing you from communicating with your neighbor, removing you from loving thy neighbor. It's so sad, but that's what the social engineers are paid to do. How climate change could of upend the American dream of home ownership. This is just to plant the seed subconsciously, subliminally, to prevent people from even pursuing the dream of home ownership. Because if they don't even pursue the dream, they're just going to be beat down and they're going to accept their little pod and they're going to accept the bugs that they're going to be told they need to eat. It's so unfortunate. The most out of it, and we're learning more every day. This is what we were designed to do, was to interact with nature, to live in alignment with nature. But the parasite class does not want us to do that. They want us to serve them. So this propaganda to demotivate people, to destroy their spirit, it's not going to work, and we're fighting it in real time. Okay. And so just another sort of the left can't meme. It's are we great yet? Referring, because I just feel embarrassed referring to Donald Trump's "Make America Great Again" slogan. Your selective embarrassment is actually embarrassing to me, like having to interact with this. Because if you weren't embarrassed about the corruption that has been occurring for decades, this just signals that you are a virtue signaling, person who probably sits on your couch and doesn't do anything about it. You just, oh, I'm going to share this clever, catchy meme that really isn't that funny. Like, yeah, maybe you should be embarrassed, but, maybe you should be embarrassed because American imperialism, which is actually just a front for global imperialism, has destroyed countless countries, has killed millions of people. The ruling class that pulls the strings of our civilizations, our societies, they have made us complicit in all kinds of crimes. So if you think my tax dollars have gone to bomb children, innocent children in other countries, I'm complicit. And that sucks. And I am embarrassed about that. And I am saddened about that. But you're choosing to be embarrassed about something so superficial, so culture war level, but that's the key. The culture wars are what prevent people from awakening to the actual class and spiritual wars that are going on. I think this is the last one. This was a long video, but it's all good. Want to save water? Skip the meat. 1 pound of meat equals, and then they have 40 loads of laundry. That's bullshit. 1,100 toilet flushes, 40 pints of beer, and then X number of potatoes. That's pure propaganda. Pure propaganda. The cycle of life is so much more complex than X input provides Y output. It's not like you just provide X number of resources to a cow and it yields, Y number back to you. No, these things live within a system, an ecosystem, an environment that feeds and contributes to one another. They eat grass, um, which grows because water rains from the sky, right? Um, they then provide us with food. It's not. I'm getting way off subject. This is a long video, but this is just designed to discourage you from eating meat because it's expensive for the ruling class to allow us to have affordable quality foods. Again, it's about control of resources, but then control of like we are a resource to them. And so they want to limit the amount of investment they have to put into us, or they want to lower the cost of keeping us alive and maximize the cost of our contribution to them. There we go. That's what it is. And so meat is totally not bad for the environment. It's not. What's okay? I'm gonna end the video there. I'm sorry, but let me just make sure. Yeah. Oh no, this was the last one. Okay. This was actually a whole video. Uh, do men know they can still be masculine and not fall down the far right pipeline? It's just so stupid. Because yes, we absolutely know that most masculine men would not identify as far right. Most masculine men would identify as anti-government, which they want people to think is far right because they don't want um oh my gosh, my brain just stopped. They don't want masculine men to be seen as centrist. They don't want masculine men to even exist because masculine men are the biggest threat to the parasite class. And so, in an attempt to, again, dehumanize or ostracize or otherize masculine men away from anything other than what the parasite class wants, which is socialism or communism or just control. They just want control. You could say fascism too. They want control of the resources, and masculine men are a threat to their control. So they need to otherize them into a category of people who eventually they're going to want violence to be used on. The left cannot meme. And I think I will end the video there. Thank you very much, Mongoose, for watching. You have a good rest of your day.